Hey everyone, so today I'm going to show you my 2020 setup for my film and TV show bullet journal, and I'm also going to be doing my January spread, so all the shows and movies that I watched in January. So you may know that this cover is the exact same as my 2019 movie and TV show bullet journal, and that's because I'm actually combining 2019 and 2020 for this journal because there are a lot of spare pages, so I just decided to continue using this journal for 2020, and I've already set up a lot of the pages in the beginning that will work for 2020, so I'm just going to continue using those initial pages. So I'll show you what I mean. So first we just have the title page. So yes, I wrote 2019 and 2020, and you would have already seen these spreads if you watched my starting a new journal video. But first I just have movies to watch, series to binge. Then I have another to watch list for movies and TV shows. Then I have my anime movie tracker and my Studio Ghibli film tracker, K-drama to watch, and anime to watch. So yeah, those are all my initial spreads that I had already prepared in 2019, so I'm just going to continue using those for 2020. So this is my first 2020 spread, so it is my 2020 most anticipated, so I have my most anticipated movies and my most anticipated TV shows. So I have the title, a space for the release date, and a space for the rating. And I've already watched Sex Education, so I'm just coloring that in, and of course that was freaking 5 out of 5 stars. But yeah, then I also have movie previews 2020, so in 2019 I did a similar spread. So when I go to a movie preview, I printed out a photo and just wrote my mini review of the movie that I went to and who I went with and everything like that. So I'm doing that again for 2020, and now it's time to work on my January spread. So I already printed out all the covers of the movies and TV shows that I watched in January, so I'm so excited to talk about them because I watched a lot of amazing shows and movies, and I've been following the same format throughout this journal. So I just print out the covers, write the title with my rating, who I watched it with, or if I watched it alone, whether it was a rewatch, and then I just write a little mini review or just like mini thoughts on it. I feel like I would be so demotivated if I felt the need to like write a huge review, so that's why I don't do like a huge review. But then I also like to create spreads for specific shows or movies that I watched that month that I really loved or I loved the aesthetic of. So yeah, for this spread I'm doing a black and white theme, so as you can see I'm using some black paper, and yeah, the theme is going to be black and white with a touch of silver. So I'm using my Kyokyo dot liner glue tape thing, so I'll leave that linked in my description below. A few of you have asked me where to get it, but yeah, it's literally amazing. It makes journaling so much more fun and easy. But as you can see, it ran out, so I had a refill ready to go, so I'm just replacing it. Okay, so let's talk about what I watched in January. I'm gonna do this every month from now on, hopefully, because I love talking about the TV shows and movies that I watch, and I feel like this is the perfect format because I can show you my spread and talk about it in the voiceover. So yeah, I'm so excited. But the first thing that I watched was The Witcher. I actually started it in December, which was when it came out, and I finished season 1 in January. So I watched that with my boyfriend Callan, and we both loved it. It is so good. It definitely isn't perfect, and I can see the flaws, but that didn't stop me from loving it. I just absolutely loved it. Like, I loved the way that it was shot. I loved the characters. This is my first time experiencing the Witcher worlds. For Christmas, I actually did receive The Witcher 3 for my Switch, and I have played a little bit, and I love it already. But yeah, I actually waited to finish the show before I started playing that game. But it is so good. Yeah, I just love the world. I love fantasy, so this new fantasy world is just so incredible to me. I ended up giving that a 4.5 out of 5 stars. Like I said, it wasn't perfect. I nearly gave it 5 stars, but yeah, there were definitely some things that didn't quite make sense. I also didn't love the way the story was told. I did find the timeline a bit confusing. I know that's like a common complaint. Even just like the law of surprise, I think that's what it was called. I feel like that was never explained, so I had to like look that up and everything. So I feel like it could have been done a bit better, like explained better and stuff like that. But I just loved it, and I really want to read the books, although I am nervous because I've heard not the best things about the books. Well, some people love it obviously, but also some people say it's like really dense, but I definitely do want to give it a go. So then I watched You season 2, and I loved You season 1, so I was so excited for this. And it definitely wasn't as good as season 1 in my opinion, but it was still like so suspenseful, so thrilling, and I loved it. It's just so weird being inside the mind of someone who is just so messed up and justifies his disgusting actions. So yeah, it's definitely just such an interesting show, and I've also read the book. It's just such a unique concept to see things from the perspective of someone who is like literally a stalker, killer, everything like that. But yeah, I loved it, and it was was just so much fun to watch. Then I rewatched Everybody's Everything, which is the Lil Peep documentary, and of course I loved it. Rewatch, 5 out of 5 stars, yes. Oh, I gave You season 2 4 out of 5 stars, by the way. And then I rewatched some episodes of Wizards of Waverly Place. I don't know which episodes, I just watched some random ones because it's on Disney Plus and I just love that show. I just love to rewatch it, especially when I'm eating. It's just such a like comfy, cozy show for me to watch, and I love when I'm eating to just watch like one of those like fun, cozy shows. And then I actually saw on Disney Plus that The Wizards Return, Alex vs. Alex was on there, and I actually had never heard of that. And it's a movie for Wizards of Waverly Place. And I was like, what the heck? So I watched it and it was so much fun. So I gave that 4 out of 5 stars. Justin wasn't in it though, but Justin isn't my favorite character anyway. Like, he's fine, but I didn't really notice his absence too much. But yeah, so that was super fun to watch. And then I actually started a new K-drama, which is Hotel de Luna, and it is so much fun because it's about this like hotel for the dead. Oh my gosh, it is so good. I only watched like 1.5 episodes in January, and I'm obviously continuing it now in February, but it is so fun so far. The cinematography is literally stunning, and like the costuming and everything, it's so good, and I already just love the main character who owns the hotel. So yeah, I'm really excited to continue watching that, and I'm so happy because it's on Netflix, because I did want to watch it for quite a while, but it finally was released on Netflix like at the end of last year, I think. Then Disney Plus finally released The Proud Family, and I was waiting for that, so I rewatched a few episodes of The Proud Family, an absolute classic from my childhood. I love that show, and the theme song will remain like the best theme song ever. It is just such a good show, and I was rewatching it and I was like, whoa, like this is some good commentary, especially for that time. So yeah, I just rewatched a few episodes, but I love The Proud Family. And then I watched the new 2019 Addams Family movie. So it's the animated movie, and I actually had never watched the Addams Family before I watched this, and I had so much fun. I just had such a good time watching it, and I love Wednesday so much. She's definitely my favorite. And yeah, I actually have seen like not the best reviews for that movie, but I had the best time watching that, so I gave that 4 stars. And then Callan, my boyfriend, he was like, oh my gosh, you have to watch the Addams Family, like the original, now that we've watched that. So he actually prefers Addams Family Values, which is the sequel to the original movie. So that's what we watched, and it was enjoyable, but definitely like, you know, some weird things happen. I obviously loved some of the aspects. I loved the characters, but some of the things that happened, I'm like, what is going on? But I also just love the aesthetic of the Addams Family, so loved that. Then I watched another Studio Ghibli movie, which was Nausicaa Valley of the Wind, and I really loved this. It definitely had a slow start, so I wasn't completely hooked in the beginning, but of course it is a Studio Ghibli film, so the animation was stunning. I loved where the story went, and I loved the social commentary on how we're destroying the environment and everything. It was just so good. So if you haven't watched that, I definitely recommend it. And if you don't know, Studio Ghibli movies have been added to Netflix. Not in the US. I know that it's in like Australia, New Zealand, UK, and other countries, but I know it's not available in the US. But you can purchase them digitally, and they are worth it because Studio Ghibli are amazing. But yeah, so I'm so happy I watched another one. I'm still slowly making my way through all the Studio Ghibli movies. Then I rewatched some episodes of Lizzie McGuire, which is just such an amazing TV show. And I actually didn't watch Lizzie McGuire too often when I was little. I used to think it was slightly boring, but it is so good. Yeah, it makes me feel so cozy. And I literally almost cried in one of the episodes because it was talking about like eating disorders. I don't know, I just really love it. It's just so fun, and I love Lizzie's outfits so much. Then I watched It Follows, which is a horror, and I heard so many amazing things about this movie, but I really didn't like it. I gave it 1.5 stars, and I love horror movies, but this was just so slow. It wasn't thrilling, it wasn't scary. To me, I'm just like, what was the point of that? And I've seen a lot of people like analyze it and stuff like that, so it might be fun if I try to analyze it or like watch a video essay on it or something. But in terms of just enjoyment, I was just like, what's going on? It's so slow, nothing's really happening. I didn't understand why people were scared of this person who was literally just walking. Like, you can just run, like they're literally just walking, like they're not gonna run. So I just didn't understand why it was so scary, and it was also so frustrating to watch because some of the character decisions I was just like, oh my god. Anyway, yeah, so definitely didn't really enjoy that. Then I was so excited because Sex Education season 2 was finally released on Netflix, and oh my gosh, I feel like I've been waiting for season 2 for so long, because if you don't know, Sex Education is one of my favorite shows. When I watched season 1, I was like, oh my god, this is like one of the best shows ever. I just love it so much. And season 2 just continues to be amazing, maybe even better than season 1. Like, it is just so good, and like the female empowerment in it like literally makes me want to cry. Just the friendships, I love Maeve and Amy's friendship, which really strengthened in season 2, and I loved like the new characters that were added, and it was so stressful to watch because so many stressful things are happening, and it's also just so funny. My favorite character is a tie between Eric and Maeve, I think. I just love them, and it was just so good. Then I was actually watching The Circle, which is a reality TV show that was on Netflix, and I'm I'm not usually into reality shows, but everyone was talking about this on Twitter, so I was like, okay, it might be fun. Like, I was in the mood to just watch something stupid, you know what I mean? But it actually ended up being so good. I was watching it with my boyfriend Callan, and we had so much fun watching this. Like, at first we were like, I don't know about this, because like I said, I'm not really into reality TV. He's not into reality TV. But then like we just got so into it, and it was just so unique because I've never seen anything like it. We basically follow these people staying in the same building, but they're all in their own rooms and they're completely isolated from everyone else. I don't think they have phone or internet access or anything like that. So they're literally just by themselves, and they just talk through the TV, the circle, and they communicate to the other players via text only. And they have to try and get to know each other, and then they like rate each other, and that's how people get kicked off and everything. And some people were catfishes and stuff. So it was just such a fun and unique concept. And I forgot how fun reality TV can be, like when you're rooting for someone and you want them to win and everything. So yeah, that was such a fun show. I actually finished it in February, and I'm really sad that it's over. But my favorite person on there was probably Sammy or Chris. Loved them so much. There were also some people that I was like, oh my gosh, you need to go. It was just so fun, and like people I didn't like at first, I started to really care for them as the series went on, and I got to know them more, and it was just such a good show. But yeah, so that's everything that I watched in January. So as you can see, I'm just creating a little favorite of the month in the bottom right corner. And in 2019, I actually was creating a whole page for this, but I'm trying to use less pages for 2020 because even though I do have space for 2020, I don't have like heaps of space. So there is a possibility I might run out of paper. So I'm trying to keep everything more condensed. So yes, I just used this black post-it note to write favorite of the month. So every month I like to choose my favorite thing that I watched that month, excluding rewatches. So for January, my favorite thing that I watched was Sex Education season 2. No surprise, I literally love that show. But yeah, so that is it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed, and I hope you're excited for the monthly movie and TV show mini reviews with these voiceovers. I'm so excited. Like I said, I just love talking about the shows and movies that I watch. But yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you're having a good day or night, and I'll see you in my next one.